howdy and welcome to another Grow Lapse video, all about the lettuce. Again. I'm Catherine, the Aerogarden Homesteader. I feel like some things are easy to grow and others are definitely more challenging. Lettuce was one of the easiest things I grew the first time I tried, and I have been struggling with it ever since. The method I've finally figured out, which seems to be working for me, is to begin by sprouting the seeds on paper towel. This way I can see which have sprouted, as well as make sure I am planting one plant per sponge. In my experience, more than one plant leads to smaller leaves, and they both fight for resources, leaving them both weak and struggling. So for me, it is one plant only for anything that isn't an herb. Once I have them in the pot and settled, I do not feed them until they have at least a few of their true leaves. When I began feeding earlier, the plants again struggled with tip burn, like I was giving them too much. So now I just don't give them any. After a few true leaves, which might take a couple of weeks, I will finally start giving them food, but only at half strength. I will also do that for a few feeds. The plants will get bigger, and once I start harvesting leaves, I will get them up to full strength food. I am slowly learning that it is really important to pay attention to the needs of the plants. Many of the leafy things I have been growing have only required half strength food, or I get burning on leaf tips. When I notice slower growth or more yellowing of the leaves, I increase the food as the plant is requiring more and can subsequently handle more. And I think the final key, even though I knew a fan was required, was to finally get a fan in the room. This prevents the center rot that happens when there is not enough transpiration to keep micronutrients moving up through the young leaves. Once I got a fan in there, many of my leafy plants did much better, and any plants blocked from the fan did noticeably poorer. I have been moving things around, and turning an Aerogarden can help or hinder growth depending on how the fan hits all of the plants. This batch of lettuce, I did lots of changes to figure things out. I had lettuce scattered around the room trying to figure out optimal placement with regards to the fan, optimal amounts of plants per Aerogarden, as well as approximately when to start feeding, increase the amount of food, and when to start harvesting. Everything is a learning experience because every plant is slightly different. What worked well for Salad Bowl didn't seem to work as well with Paris Island. For the most part, I feel like most plants received their first half-strength feeding around 2 to 3 weeks. I believe first harvests were happening around weeks 6 to 7 with only 1 to 2 leaves per plant removed. But each week I could harvest a little more per plant without harm. And around week 7 to 8 I increased the food to full strength as I noticed more yellowing of lower leaves. I will continue to grow lettuce. I think I might have cracked the code to get it to grow well in my room under my conditions. The last thing I have been trying to figure out is how many plants per harvest or bounty, and how many Aerogardens on rotation for continuous salads. Obviously, there are factors involved, such as how large of a salad and how frequently, but for the number of plants per harvest, I have felt 2 was optimal, 4 was okay depending on variety, 6 just seemed overcrowded. For a bounty, 3 was optimal, 4 to 6 was okay, but the full 9 was too many, again causing overcrowding and suboptimal growing conditions. The fewer the plants per Aerogarden, the larger the plants and leaves. I think 4 Aerogardens on rotation with at least optimal to okay numbers of plants allowed for me to have at least a small side salad almost every day, or a large meal salad twice a week. I will have to run more experiments to better determine optimal conditions, but I feel this is a good start and much better than the last video Grow Lapse of my lettuce attempt, which was pretty sad. I have also been playing around with another method of germination which so far worked great on cilantro, so I want to test that out with lettuce before showing how it works. So make sure you are subscribed if germinating cilantro is a challenge and you want a better method. That doesn't include the paper towel method. I have linked the playlist both for the whole garden updates as well as all of the Grow Lapse videos. If you found this video useful, it would be really nice if you can give the video a like and share so others can also find this video. And I will see you next time on the Aerogarden Homestead.